Hello you guys, in this video I will show how to create your first multiplayer online game for WebGL using WebGL Multiplayer Kit from Unity Set Store. So let's start it. The first thing you need to create an empty scene. I have a main camera and directional light. I will create an environment here, a level design here, already created using some cubes and planes. So just drag and drop the prefab here. Alright, I have the environment here. Just the left slide. Alright, I have a adjusted plan and some cubes. I scaled here to make walls for our games. Alright. The first thing I need to do is create a canvas to player logging to the game. I will go to game object, UI, canvas. I create a canvas here. Inside canvas I put some elements like buttons, input fields, some elements we can use these elements. The player you use these elements. I already created canvas 2. I have this canvas here. I renamed to hid canvas. The basic canvas here we have. I have a panel, this main area, another panel here, a text lobby, welcome here, I input field here, a button join to player to join game obviously, and button ping to player ping to server. Alright guys, now we need to create our player. We need to create a prefab to our player. So I go to game object, create empty game object. I rename this game object to player prefab. Player prefab. Oops. Player prefab. Alright. I add some elements here. But first press F to focus. I create a cube here. 3D object cube. This cube is be our player. Alright, I already created this too. I have the player here. I rename to local player prefab. Just a cube. I create an empty game object. Inside I put a cube. I put a point here and transform it called camera to target to camera follow this player. A text to represent name of our player here. And I add some elements here like a rigid body component and a script player manager to control this player. This script allows we control player. I open the script to see what's happening here. I have some attributes here like ID, name, a bool if is player online or not, a bool to player is local player or not, a transform reference camera to target is this transform here. I have here camera to target just for camera follows the player, just for this. A vertical speed, a rotate speed to rotate our cube. I have a method here to set 3D name for our player. This get component ensure text mesh. So I have the text mesh here to set the local player name. And I have a fixed update here we verify if a player is local player. If he is, we move the player. If it's not, we do nothing for now. Let's see the move method. The move method have we get player input, horizontal and vertical. We calculate apply the speed, vertical speed and rotate speed, and just move the player, rotate player using Y and Z coordinates. If H and V not equals to 0, we update to server. Update to server sends the player position and rotation to the server. To do this, we use a dictionary variable to storage this information. This is just a package. We store the player ID, the player position. We send X plus 2 points plus position dot y 2 points and position dot z. We have a string variable to send to the server. In rotation, we need to just send I rotation. And have a network manager here is another script. We will see this soon. We have a method to emit move and player rotation. Here send this package. So we need another empty game object here called network manager. I have the script here, network manager. I drag and drop to a network manager game object. We need to convert with this prefab to attach here. We have another prefab called network player prefab. Just change the name. Unpack. I called it to network player prefab and change the cube material here. I put the red material. Now we have a network player and put here in prefabs folder. All right, I delete this. We don't need this anymore. And here we put our local player prefab and net player prefab here. We need some spawn points to spawn player in scene. I go to the game object, create empty spawn point. I create another Ctrl D to duplicate this point and drag it to here. Network players. Spawn point I put here 2. I drag and drop the first spawn point here and the second spawn point to here. We need to camera to follow the player. I already have the camera here. A prefab. I show you just a camera, a single camera here, and I have a script camera follow to follow the player. It's a simple script to allow camera to follow the player. We have a player transform, local player transform, and this method is making camera follow the target or the player. This don't matter for us for now. Alright, I delete this camera. Alright guys, everything configured. So let's see the network manager script. I open this script. Alright, I have some variables here. This is instance to represent our class, so we can access this class from another script using this static variable. We have a delimiter to split our package from the server using this string. So with this we can split the package. I have a bool variable here, a game object to storage our local player. This don't matter. This storage the player ID. I have a dictionary list to storage all network players in game. We have the first key is ID, the second key the player manager script attached to our prefab here. Local player prefab and network player prefab here too. We have spawn points to spawn player, a camera to follow player, objects to instantiate this camera in this game object. This don't matter too. So let's start it here. In void awake we have application.external socket.isReady receiving true. The game is ready to start. In start method we use an instance variable. We attach this class to instance variable and start the game. Alright, to send message to the server we use the emit methods. We have a emit ping to send a ping to the server. We have emit join to emit join player to the server to join player. And we have emit move and rotate to send position and rotation players position and rotation. Yes, we have this. When we send the information to server, the server receives this information and responds to the unity, to the player. And this response is reading to the on methods. So if I emit ping to server, we receive the response to the server through the on print pong message method. The server sends this information for us in pack. We convert this pack, we split this pack using the delimiter. In this case, I use 2 points here to split the string received from the server and print on the screen. Alright? Player when press the join game here. Join. In join button we have a on click. We drag and drop network manager in on click. In no function you go to network manager and emit join to join player to the game. So we have the player's name, we get the canvas input login, this canvas input login, this input field contains the name of the player. We send this information to the server and position, the player position, we sort the player position using random range spawn points. We sort the random point and concatenate it using 2 points to send all this information to the server. And to send this information to the server, use application .external call socket.emit login, for example. This ID is used in the server. We send the data package serialized in JSON object. Here, we send this information to the server and receive the results through the onJoin game using data string. We split the information and ID, name, position, and spawn new player here. We set the player attributes here. And set the camera to follow the player here too. To spawn network players, the server sends response to the onSpawn player. This method will respawn all network players in game. To spawn local player in game, you use onJoin game. To spawn network players in game, you use onSpawn player here. We split the information. Avatar, we don't have this avatar here, just ID, name, .x position, .i position, .z position here. We verify if we play already in game. If network list contain the ID, the player ID, we don't spawn player. If not contain, we spawn player here. We spawn player here using the position X player, I, and Z from the server. We set ID is local player false, and in join game is local player is true, is blue player, and here is red player. We set the player's name and add the players on the dictionary, on the list. We add the player network player on the list and local player 2. We add local player on the list. Put the local player on the list 2. To send position and rotation, you use emit, move, and rotate using data from player manager, update status, emit, move, and rotate. Here we get the player position and rotation and send to the network manager. And network manager, we have emit, move, and rotate, and send this to the server using move and rotate ID here, and convert to JSON object to send to the player. The server sends in broadcast to all players local player position and rotation to all players in game through the on update, move, and rotate. All players receive this. We split the package and update position, the player's position, and update the player's rotation. We locate the player here and update position and rotation. Here we have the update position method. Transform position receives the new position from the server, and update rotation, transform rotation, receive the new rotation from the server. And we have on disconnect method to disconnect the player. We just destroy the game object, local player game object, or network player game object, and remove from the dictionary, from the list.